going?
Happy Wednesday.
Right?
It's a different day for streaming.
Definitely unusual.
Had to like really go down to the mic thing. Let me just
Might have bring it back up.
Not like wiggling down. Yeah, how's everyone doing?
Yeah, what's up, 223?
Hope all is well with
What's
you too,
up, Final
Luigi.
Lugia?
I mean, I always
and the
do
Fed,
that.
what's up, Shane? How's it going? Yeah, man. Good to see everybody.
We have a song called End the Fed. Also, we want to end the Fed.
These are all true things.
That's why I made the song, I guess.
So yeah, we're just excited that the I Did Not Consent music video campaign's doing super well, and we're just doing a little last minute reminder for everybody that it's ending tonight. We actually only have, I think, 5 hours left. We've already crossed over 7K, which means that we've unlocked the special bonus print. So
yeah, so over halfway funded.
Yeah.
While it's not at our goal, I think that we can make something decent. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, definitely with the amount that we've hit, we're able to do studio, we're able to get a professional production crew, we're able to get editing and post. The main thing now that we're really trying to get, and is important as well, like this is why we had the original 14K goal, is that we want to get props and things that we can use physically besides the digital. And of course that costs money. And of course, if we hit the ultimate goal, we want to have actors too who would be able to help stage the scenes and do some cool stuff visually on screen. But again, we're going to already, at this point, we're going to make a great mainstream competitive music video, but we want to take it to the next level, of course, as always. If we can get to that, Tom McDonald level, that'd be pretty nice. But it does take a lot of resources to get to that.
We could talk about them if you'd like, or
if
there's anything specific.
In terms of music video itself?
Oh, specifically their case. And yeah, music videos in general, but using them as an example of like, Nova specifically. I mean, we don't have to get into it. It's just a random curiosity.
Well, I mean, I would say definitely like the thing that's important, because I get this a lot. People are like, oh, I see people make music videos for less than this. I'm like, dude, like you have no idea how much this costs to actually make something good. You know what I mean? Either you have to get the equipment yourself or you have to get a production company, studio space. If you want to get an actual decent space, as a big green screen, built-in lights and stuff like that, they are charging $100 to $200 an hour in many places. And then, you're talking about the set assistants. You need people to be able to set things up, take things down. You need to have the ability to edit and do post stuff. You have physical pop stuff like that. Like when we did our Disobey, the
software for that costs money. It's
right. Well, it's to somebody. If whether it's us or it's whether, of course, in this case, it's the company that has to have those things. But, for example, in our Disobey music video, it doesn't look like a lot, but if you watch and look at all the different props and stuff, I mean, we had so many props in the Disobey music video. We had, the pill stuff, we had the giant inflatable ball, we had the Corona costumes, we had all different types of crazy things. We had, the vials, we had the doctor outfits, we had all the shirts for the back cast. I mean, and that was a video where we focused more on the props and the actors instead of the equipment. Like we did get some upgraded equipment, but it's still not to the level of
Disobey was our huge, like the hugest cast we've ever had. It's like the only cast we've ever had. Is that not true? Like
in terms of having a big cast, yes, but obviously Josiah was in mask order. We've had, you could say, that cameo thing, but in terms of having a big set, a big crew, Disobey for that music video, that took us 3 days. We had to shoot over 3 days. We had 2 different
3 weekends in a row. We did that.
Right. Yeah. We had 2 different days of different casts. There was some crossover, but basically different sets of actors and stuff like that for different parts. So I mean, and that was like wild. That was a wild production. And again, it obviously doesn't have the high level of like, oh, you have a really nice red camera, stuff like that. But we did what we could with what we had. But this time we're actually going to start with production crew studio, so it's going to look really sharp from the get-go. But now we just want to see, okay, can we get a little bit of extra that flair and stuff on scene? But no matter what, we're already on a good path. So we just want to thank everybody too for helping us get there and sharing the campaign, supporting us, getting the word out and stuff like that, because it's really incredible that we've even gotten this far for something that is relatively throttled and it's very niche.
It's true.
It's hard, trying to
it's getting censored and stuff. We hope that the music is helping though, but I don't know if things have changed and they're getting smarter about like checking comments and stuff. I don't know.
In terms of what?
Oh, just like flagging a video for review.
Oh, I see. Okay, gotcha. I was like, what? I was like, who?
They literally have teams dedicated to writing algorithms and
Right,
programmers and data scientists. Like they have these people that they pay to figure out ways to suss out ideas they don't like.
Right. Well, and
I mean
yeah.
misinformation. I'm sorry. I mean, no.
Yeah, that's too funny. But it's true though. We do face a lot of censorship and throttling, and I don't think a lot of people really understand that, because when we're streaming out and messaging out to people, we're on platforms where it's like near 100,000 people, 30,000 people, 10,000 people, but they algorithmically limit. And especially us, because we've watched it. We've been a part of the group of people, have watched the changes, and it's hard. And that's why you have to do so many different messages and stuff like that. Because in the past, it's like, oh, okay, you just post a page and everybody's going to see it, by and large. And now it's like, you get like 0.01%. So it's been an uphill battle trying to get the message out and trying to reach people, stuff like that. But we keep, pressing, fighting for it. And yeah, so we just really appreciate everybody who's helped us share and get past that throttling.
Well said. Well said. So good at this off the cuff speaking. I looked at the camera and then you changed it. I was delayed.
Actually, on that note, I was going to say I do have something else pretty cool out here. I was sharing this the other day. I actually and this says not for resale, but again, I didn't put that on there. So basically, Amazon, whenever you do your new, book release, they give you a proof, and the proof has that on there. So this is just the original proof copy, but this is my first nonfiction book. It's actually the definitive guide to libertarian voluntarism.
Do you notice how he said nonfiction? Because there's Voluntaries, a comic series.
Yes. Yes. Obviously, I'm well published for over 10 years in the comic book world.
That's true.
But this is my first. And of course, I had to integrate artistic things if I'm going to do my own book thing.
I was like, can you make it a comic? Can you add a picture? And you're like, no, that'll just be a comic.
Yeah, this book is actually meant to be a book that is comprehensive in terms of the foundational philosophy on the ethics of property rights and consent. So I really recommend checking this out. It's now available on Amazon too. I'm actually going to get my first physical copies next week, but we have music coming out, we have books coming out, we have all kinds of crazy things going on. So I just appreciate everybody who was an early supporter. There's quite a few people who actually got early copies of this and have already gotten them, and I've gotten some great feedback. So that's
I really love the cover. I just like,
this is
alone. It's like an art piece. It's so pretty.
It's a very pretty cover.
And anyone can people name those names of those faces? I mean, those names. Can anyone name those names? Anyone name those faces?
The faces? I can obviously.
Rothbard. Spooner. Right. Is that Hayek?
No.
Dang it. I missed it. Okay, so, and then
Rothbard.
It's the bottom left Mises, and right that I don't know very well.
Auberon Herbert, Spooner, Carl Menger. So again,
Menger, right.
These are
Carl
some
Menger,
of, in my opinion, some of the most foundational thinkers in the respective realms when it comes to like libertarianism, property rights, and voluntarist thinking. For me, these are some of like, the really big root names to these fields. So it's.
I like how you said that, foundational. Right.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Kenneth. I appreciate it.
Wow.
Yeah, so
oh my gosh! Look. Okay, sorry. I just, me. I just look at the little baby. So cute. So okay, cute. Your baby's cute, Kenneth.
He's got the cute.
You didn't know.
The cute babes.
You didn't know.
So Bastiat is definitely a big person for a lot of people. In terms of the law, it's tough for me to say that he is as foundational when it comes to property rights and voluntarism as those others. Again, Bastiat absolutely.
Those are really good.
Fantastic. But I don't know. It's tough for me to say that, because he had a criticism of state power and socialism and things like that. But when it comes to philosophy and economics, right, those two,
I'm trying to define a framework and give definitions specifically on things like that. I would say, for example, Mises and Rothbard, they really strive to do that. Define terms, help, give wave to new ideas, and try to encapsulate it in certain principles as well.
Right.
Like with Mises, it was a focus on human action as the first axiom, right? So Rothbard just took that and he's like, okay, let's just be consistent the full way, and I'm going to be ANCAP, you know. So you had Mises, who was more, what would you say? I mean, they're both Austrian economists, but Austro-libertarian. But Rothbard was specifically an anarchist, an anarcho-capitalist. So.
Right. Yeah. Mises said that, you know, Rothbard was fulfilling what he did, but I would say economically Mises is there, but Menger before. But yeah, exactly. And of course, I think Rothbard more elaborated on also philosophy and things like that in terms of property rights and ethics. I think, though, to just note about Bastiat, what was special about Bastiat is his focus was more on like the nature of the state. So he was, I don't think, as philosophical about human action as much as talking about the nature of what governments do in terms of legal plunder, how people legalize plunder, and specifically talking about socialist criticism, saying like, oh, if you don't want the government to provide you this thing, then you must be against, you know, bread, right? Like his ancient idea, you know, quote of socialism, stuff like that. So again, Bastiat's fantastic, of course, and has definitely woke up a lot of people. I just think
he'd be in a chart of liberty figureheads, you know.
Oh, for sure.
And you can only fit so many dudes on a page.
So many dudes. I can only fit so many dudes. Maybe the next
and part
the next
of this
issue,
wasn't this partly also your biggest influence as well? Like you're the author, so.
Well, right, yeah, a bit big influence and stuff like that,
and also founding philosophers as well.
Right, I would say some of the most instrumental progenitors of these two fields in terms of property rights, voluntarism, and things like that with libertarianism. So yeah, I mean, again, it's one of those books. It's not thick, you know, it's not crazy. I really want to make this accessible because a lot sorry, it's not thick, but I wanted to make it accessible enough that anybody can do it. Well, I like it to the
like
point.
Those thick boys. Hey, speaking of thick boys, I'm just kidding. Hey, Ronald Robinson, you are so cool. He says Tracy. My copy came Monday. Okay, Ronald Tracy Robinson. Okay, you want the full thing? RTR. Okay, my copy came Monday. It's a timely purchase that has helped me so much. Really? That's so awesome. Please tell us about your stories of how it has helped you. I would love to know. I'm sure Jack would like to know too.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been very thankful that people have talked to me about it. Again, I don't even know that anyone would necessarily agree with everything that I wrote in there, because I do put in very pointed, controversial things, but it's something that I substantiate and I give a logical framework, you know, going back to the roots of, you know, who owns what, property rights and things like that, and developing the philosophies. So I don't think anybody's going to be disappointed in what they read in terms of like pushing their thinking and challenging them to think. I think
it's very clarifying, at least. Yeah, so definitely.
Whether,
you know, the goal is, while the goal is always right to change minds, and we are libertarian volunteers, so of course, you know, we really believe that as an ethical framework for human society. So of course, our ultimate goal is everyone believes it. But another goal of the book, I would say, is it's at the very least clarifying. So whether you walk away and you're still a state of somehow, whatever.
That'd be crazy. Honestly, that would be nuts.
How can you read? You know, but anyway, just having the solid principles laid out to you is great. And I think that is actually missing a lot. And, you know, we talked to some of our friends and they shared some similar sentiments of just like, you know, there hasn't been anything that's like really clear about bridging libertarianism and voluntarism together, and also differentiating between the two in a clear, coherent way with definitions, right? And so I really like how you define, and after I read it, I got a, you know, early sneak peek, you know,
obviously.
And I really just like, it clarified my thinking. I was like, oh, you know what? Yeah, I actually had been thinking of anarcho-capitalism, libertarianism, and voluntarism just kind of all exchangeably. I was born in America. Exchangeably. Is that a word? Okay.
You got it. You're
exchangeably?
There. Exchangeably
so
works.
Weird.
Fungibly.
Such a weird word, though, when you think about it, or when you say it. Anyway.
Yeah, it works.
But but now I realize, like, oh, it's actually different. So if you want to know, I won't spoil it. Just you'll read it. Even just like, it's so succinct. I love it. Great job.
That's what I tell people too. They're like, because I had some people like, could you explain it quickly? I'm like, actually, not really, because the whole point of me writing this book in the first place was to demonstrate that, yes, the principles can be done succinctly, but not as succinctly as a little Facebook or a Twitter post. There's actually a lot of philosophical things you have to think about yourself, nature of existence, the nature of what you need to live, your interactions with other people, in order to actually come to a point. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm like hitting your face. To actually come.
I just want to hold it.
Oh, you can. Oh, okay. I thought I was like blocking your face. So, you know what I mean? You have to actually have a couple of different discourses before you get to the idea of, oh, okay, and this is why consent ethics and property rights should matter to you and why you should think about them and adopt it, you know, philosophically. There's a few discourses, and it's just the reality. You know, you have to think more deeply than what the media has conditioned people to you know, dwell on, where it's just sound bites and headlines, right? You have to, and again, I tried to cut the lean. I really did. I really tried to get it as lean as possible to where you read it and it's like, boom, okay, I get this. I understand it. And it's relatable and you can really think about it with yourself right away. Like I wanted to make sure that the writing and the prose and stuff like that is something that is accessible and you're not gonna be like, oh my God, this is like a 600-page treatise and on every single thing. It's like, no,
yeah, actually, what you need to know. I am one of those customers who I just want to, like, you know, I have a lot going on in my life. And usually for certain things, I just want a summary. Like if I just want to know, like, hey, what is these philosophies about? I would just like a succinct summary, you know, something really quick. And then if I do want a deep dive, I can read volumes 1 through whatever 6 of Conceived in Liberty. But each of those volumes is huge. And it's like packed with like details of like upon detail. And normally I like details, but I pick and choose when I want detail. And so, you know, in this certain case, like, you know, I haven't prioritized that above certain things. And so, yeah, I want to have a succinct summary. And I just love that you accomplished that. And I just love that you chose like artsy pieces.
Thank you.
Maybe you can make a special edition with like each chapter is like a pretty art.
Maybe one day. I mean, I definitely gonna do that for the sequel book to this. Like, have more.
I'd buy it.
An even bigger beautified art cover.
I'd buy it.
But it's something that is too like very unique. I want to make sure this is clear for anybody just who's, you know, checking in. I want to just give you the facts that this is not a history book. This is not like, oh, here's all history of libertarian thought. No, it's not like that. This is not some book that's history. Yeah, this is not like some, you know, history of thought every single person. No. This is not me just pull quoting a bunch of people. I'm not regurgitating what a bunch of other authors said. Okay, so that's important to say. I mean, there are things where I say, okay, you know, there's this further food for thought to look into from other authors and things like that, but it's not regurgitation. This is something that I actually developed independently and have unique contributions to in terms of the framework and the thinking. So that, you know, that's something that also for me was really important because I've been doing this for a long time. Like I didn't just write this book because I'm like, oh, I was a libertarian, you know, 2 years ago. I've been doing liberty activism and been in this space for over 15 years. I've literally been to all different types of, you know, you could say seminars.
You have pictures of Tom from like 10 years ago.
Yes, I've literally had Tom's like, lectures from like, over 10 years ago. So like,
you have like a picture with him every year. He's just like, who is this person that keeps showing up in my life?
Right. So, you know, I have that history. I have that network connection. I've, you know, done law school, things like that. I have a cross-discipline understanding of this stuff and in a way where I could see possible ways to reframe it or improve it, including even I actually saw Walter Block's Evictionism first speech at Ron Paul Fest at the Paul Fest in 2012.
Ooh, cool.
So,
that's history.
Right. I've been a part of those histories, like watching, listening, learning from, again, great thinkers, like, of course, Walter Block, Tom Woods, Mises Rothbard, and so on and so forth. So I've been, you know, I wasn't live for Mises and Rothbard. Obviously, they were dead before I was live, or dead before I could see them, I should say. But yes, you know what I mean? So I didn't want to just do something willy-nilly. Let me just, you know, let me.
Yeah, I wish I could have met them. It is, nice. You know, you learn about these people. It's like, you look them up and you're like, what, they're dead? John Taylor Gatto, another person I found out about after he died. I'm like, no, XXXTentacion. Okay, random. Who knows? Okay, whatever.
That's a musician.
Learned about him after he died. I'm like, oh my God.
Yes, well, exactly. It's tough to deal with the fact that sometimes you have to appreciate someone and it's already too late. They've already passed. You know what I mean? And you're just like, oh, that's things that, you know.
And all you have is their work product, right? Like, did they write a book? Did they make a product? Did they whatever? Did they have kids?
Right.
What's your legacy? And certainly, as every year passes and young Pho becomes old Pho, or middle-aged Pho, you could say.
Young Pho.
I guess before there's young and then like middle-aged, right? And then old. Okay. So getting there.
There's also baby.
Okay, well, before young. But yeah, so what about baby?
What were you talking about?
I got distracted by what you were writing. There was like 20 things going on all of a sudden.
What 20 things?
So young, yeah. So anyway, as each year passes, thank you. I'm just kidding. I reminded myself, and I just think about like what kind of legacy do I want to lead and leave behind, and yeah. So I think this is part of it, and I wonder what you guys think. But we live in this very interesting time, as I've said many times before, about just technology. This point in time, the world has never been so connected. Like the fact that some of you maybe in other parts of the world besides the United States is really cool, and we have the technology to literally just bring anyone on the camera right now. We could just invite you and you just come on if you have a camera. It's pretty incredible, and I really want to just take advantage of that as much as possible. And while I see all the horrible things in the world, and every day it's almost like there's another law that's being passed to steal more from you, or take your body and property rights away from you more, or whatever, and infringe on them. That's a funny picture. I still just want to keep positive, because I don't want them to win. I don't want them to just let somebody just be so demoralized. And that's part of the goal. Part of taking over is demoralization of somebody, right? Of a nation. Who is that? What was the name of that guy? Yuri Berezmanov.
The Russian defector from the
he was on a Call of Duty intro. Was it Call of Duty? Oh my god.
Wait, was it a game that was released to China that cut it out, or?
Yeah.
I'm seeing Bethesda. Someone who has more gaming knowledge has to come in on that one, because I'm not.
But that guy. Yeah. So he talks about like the different stages of taking over a nation according to the Soviet Union, and he was like a top official and propaganda. So it's fascinating. You should definitely look into that separately. But I don't want to be demoralized, and I strive for self-knowledge. Yuri Bezmenov. Oh, I did kind of say it. Thanks, Lucas.
That's pretty good. I got what you're saying. That was good.
Forgot the name. Oh, Black Ops. Isn't that Call of Duty?
Call of Duty is one of the editions. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, my memory is not. I'm getting middle aged. I still got my memory. But yeah. So anyway, hope you guys just try to find ways to stay positive in this crazy world, and just find solace in the fact that we're all here together. Look at the Freedom Convoy. Those Canadians, man, they don't really have guns. So like, all right, we got trucks and we got tractors. And it's really risky. They're willing to mess up their own supply chain, that their own families rely on, and friends. So whatever, like I'm just really curious to see how this goes, but it really shows just how desperate they are and how pushed these really stereotypically polite Canadians are. It's true. Like they are. Like, they're so polite about it. They're like, hey, please stop infringing. Please. Or like in the UK. Anyway. But yeah, so I hope that we can just all come together and realize, like, you're not alone, and we can do this. And exactly, there's more and more anarchists and volunteers every day. Reaver. Okay, it's slow, but it's wrong. Exactly, I agree. And you, Jack, have been in the movement so much longer than me. I mean, I was talking about like you have photos of Tom Woods and Walter Block for like 10 years ago, Ron Paul, Paul Fest. It's pretty incredible. And a lot of those people you met at Paul Fest, for example, or way back in the day, you're still connected to, and they're still doing stuff for liberty. And they're some of the most principled volunteers that I've met. Like, Carrie Wedler is one of them, right? Mm-hmm. Like it's Danilo. He's one of them. Danilo Queller. Yeah, he's really cool. And so, a lot of people. But
Yeah. No, it's something that is encouraging.
My thoughts.
And that's the thing is when it comes to tyranny, I think a lot of people forget this fact that when the governments of the world start to clamp down and they start to push back on people's freedom, there's a tipping point, okay? Yeah. It's not like they're going to just be like, oh, yeah, everybody just go along with it. Not every single person is brainwashed, and people have tipping points. They have lines in the sand. Unfortunately, some people's lines in the sand are a little too far out, but whatever.
Yeah.
They're being crossed. That's what matters,
right? Like Canadians.
Right, like the Canadians. What matters is they're being crossed, and people are saying enough is enough. And this is our opportunity, and I say our as in you also watching, of those of you who are of the libertarian voluntarist mindset. It's our opportunity to tell these people, hey, you're tired of this. We need to change this in a sustainable way. That's a principled way that recognizes that individual body property rights are sovereign. And the government doesn't own us. They don't have the right to dictate how we can or can't travel according to their made up rules, how we can or can't do business, who we get to decide to host or not host for different events and this or that. They don't get to decide that. We decide that for ourselves, and that's it. We have autonomy over our body and our property, and that's how it's going to go.
Definitely. Well said.
So.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Thank you for ripping music. That's fine. Yeah. So Patriot Palace says, just hit you up in Indiegogo, but here's a few extra bucks for ripping some music. It's okay. We literally want our music to get out there. So
we don't believe in IP.
Right. We don't, not in that way. So please, if you like our song, you can rip it, put it in the car. We don't care. We try to make it as easy as possible for people to enjoy it and also to boost the metrics. Cause we'd like to see the music videos and stuff like that get up there because we want people in the mainstream to catch on. If it goes viral, we want other people to see it. We want, on YouTube and SoundCloud. So again, if you're a bit, that's fine. Give it an upvote on YouTube. Give it a heart react on SoundCloud or whatever. It's all good. We don't care. We're not like that.
I'm a SoundCloud rapper, you could say, because I'm not on Spotify.
Right. Yeah. The goal is to get the message out there first and foremost. We appreciate anything that people do.
There's all kinds of ANCAP music on Spotify. That's so true. They don't censor. You can find anything on SoundCloud. I mean, for better or for worse, right? It's like, Wild Wild West will be here, but it's called freedom. Okay, I'd rather be in the Wild Wild West than the statist East. Okay, I don't know. I got on rant. Okay, I do.
Where's the East?
Because I wanted to.
What's the East?
Oh, the East, like traditionally, like the Northeast states. They're so horrible. They're so statist.
So someone said, come to Childerberg. I'm trying to remember. It sounds familiar.
You mean Bilderberg, but not?
Well, like an event? Clearly a play on the word Bilderberg.
I've heard of that.
For those who don't know, Bilderberg is a meeting of by and large, some of the most influential people trying to talk about how they can dictate world policy. It happens every year, different places around the world. There's some people who are not in the in-group who are invited tangentially to try to bring them in, but, it's not as, intimate. As a Epstein experience, if you know what I mean. They, that's their inception before they really, do some blood sacrifices or whatever. So where's Childerberg? I forgot where it is.
Thank you, Vake.
But thank you.
Your that picture of that art piece makes me want to think about it.
Oh, May 28th, 30th.
Is that organized by Float by chance?
Yeah, I thought it was Float's Float Fest. There's so many fests.
They have Float
now.
Fest coming up. That's true.
It's so cool.
That's also coming up.
It's so
cool.
It
is very cool. Texas.
Yeah.
There's so many events around there, and also Ron Paul's there, but then Tom Woods here, and our friends Alex and Mark is here, Erica, Nick. I mean, it's just it's hard. It's just come to Florida.
I know, right?
We'll visit Texas.
We're going to. It's just, and what sucks
is that can you do a private plane to Texas? I know you can't go very far because it's super expensive. But man, can we just have Uber Air? Come on. I mean, you don't have to call it Uber.
Yeah.
What was that?
The FAA shut it down. There was like a kind of Uber.
I know you told me about it. I'm so mad.
I know.
But you should tell them about it.
Well, yeah. Well, everybody should know that. Yeah, it was going to be a thing. There was going to be an Uber for like smaller aircraft, so people could actually get onto more affordable small flights. Fly more locally, kind of thing. But FAA shut it down. So unfortunately, we don't have cool, affordable small commercial flights.
Yeah, I mean, how cool would that be if like, some private pilot, and there are many of them, sometimes retired commercial pilots, they want to keep maybe their license up, or they just want to keep practicing even though they're retired. That's such a huge market opportunity and a win-win for both sides. Like the pilots who want to keep practicing and make some money from that, and the folks who don't want to be harangued and go through the TSA and actually have a workaround from the literal, now I would say, complete monopoly of the airline, commercial airline industry. And I can't bring myself to go and subject myself to hours of literal humiliation, muzzling, shame for just taking it off to breathe through my nose, not being able to sleep with my mask off on a plane, and being told like, oh, if you here on the telecom, the Orwellian telecom, if you fall asleep with your mask, we'll wake you up. Like they sound like that for some reason. I don't know why. Why do they sound like that? It's so Orwellian. And like I can't do it. And the TSA, that was like the last straw, right? You just like, okay, fine. Just the TSA, right? Okay, fine. Just 30 minutes. Just 30 minutes. Get through the line, right? Get through the line. Whatever. And don't go through the X-ray thing and have your insides fries. Just get felt up and molested, whatever. And then just get right. So that was like the last straw for me. And I was like, fine. And then I'm like, freedom, yay, no mask, right? No mask, cool. And then the line was just like hearing and seeing that no matter what, they had no exceptions, nothing. First class isn't even safe anymore. It was for a little bit. And then I'm sure Karens when the government, threatened and people complained, whatever. And, and they changed it. And so I can't do it. When even like a flight that's, let's say, an hour or two, you're going to add on 1 to 2 hours before and after to depart and to arrive and get your luggage and stuff. It's like, I can't do it. I'm not ever going to subject myself until it changes, and I'm only going private. Like, there's no way. I can't do it. And the last thing is like, don't let them give up your private property, your sovereignty over your car. Know your rights when it comes to driving. If you're not going to fly, know what your rights are and look that up and understand like how to not incriminate yourself. Don't consent to searches and seizures, ask for a lawyer, all those things, stay silent, all that. And just retain your sovereignty. I know it might be hard because I know there's whatever, but it's up to you, right? It's all up to you. I don't think it's immoral either to choose to subject yourself, right? That's you. That's your choice. You're not infringing on anybody. They're infringing on you. So you just, choose to go along. Okay, well, that's, on you.
Yeah. No, and they're going to keep pushing if you don't resist, because time and again, it's already been shown.
We just need to defund it, though. Imagine if everyone just stopped in mass. They'd just be like,
then I think there's a threshold, there's a practicability threshold, but for sure in the in terms of the government's trying to push forward and things, they're trying to get stuff in cars, right, to monitor how many miles you're driving, right? Like that's been a proposal already a few times, to try to like charge people taxes by the mile, and then having breathalyzers in trucks so that you can't drive it unless you blow for. I mean, they'll do everything and anything.
You just
right. You have to just say no, and you have to say screw
how
you.
to be
we're not
free.
Doing this.
Look at your shirt.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Hell no, you won't take my AR-15. Beto O'Rourke from Texas. Yeah, stay in Austin. Just kidding. Get out of Austin.
He even was just recently trying to say,
"Oh yeah, I heard that because elections are coming up."
Yeah, I know, right? Oh yeah. Oh, your gun rights back.
I changed my mind.
Sure.
I'm a sheep again. Don't worry.
Gosh. He's a piece of crap.
I reached enlightenment. I started meditating. I acquired self-knowledge. I realized the error of my ways. You lie. You lie, Beto O'Rourke. You lie. I don't know why I sound like I'm from Texas, but maybe it's because you're from Texas, Beto.
Is that what Texas people sound like?
Isn't it?
I don't know. Could be.
Hey, welcome to Texas. Everything's big. We got barbecue. We got big women. We got big men. We got big barbecue. Did it say barbecue? That's the thing that I ate when I went to Texas. I had barbecue upon barbecue. That's what everyone want to show me. They're like, you want to go to Smoke Shacks? There's like 5 barbecues in a row. I'm like, this is amazing.
That's too funny. Well,
we're gonna go.
I mean, yeah. Well, I don't know if we're gonna go to Schellenberg. I want to go in terms of psychologically. Yes, all these events. I want to go psychologically. Yes, I want to go.
Park Fest.
I want to go.
Anarchavocal. Float Fest.
The desire is there.
Peacock.
The problem is figuring out how to do it with the rest of the responsibilities and everything else I got to do for everything we're doing. That's the hard part.
That's so true, right?
Plus, we have a couple events that we're trying to do too. We have the music video shoot. All right, and Florida Man. We're gonna do Florida Man this year too.
Yeah.
We got another big project later this year.
Can we play that song? Oh no, we don't have to.
Yeah, I don't even know what. I'd have to look at the buttons, but I could later. Anyway, so we have later this year we're gonna do Florida Man. Later this year, we're doing the Volunteers Copy Next Issue. Later this year, we have at least 2 events that we're planning for sure. So, and then we got to do this music video right now that we're working on. So it's a crazy schedule.
Doing 2 events. Can we talk about those?
Not yet, because we haven't booked the talent.
Okay.
But we have really cool people. It's gonna be fun. But the thing is, that's the thing is we want to both go to these places and do our own stuff, and it's just constantly trying to figure out how to make it all work. So that's what's tough. So Justin says, a buddy from psych grad school, very social because of years of uni, took a month to break the condition. It can be done. So I think just to interpret this, I think
describe
Justin
the process.
Was saying that his buddy was able to be broken from the programming about everything going on, and
freed.
It took him about a month to get that done. So that's awesome. Yeah. Thank you, Justin, for your service.
Justin.
Thank you again. Every single person, right? Who, if you change 2 people,
thank you for 2 bowls of pho with inflation, just 1. And a
2 bowls of pho, yeah.
No, now it's just 1 pho and a goiku.
1 pho in
even a goiku.
Oh my god! But it's seriously something that can be done, right? You just change 2 people. This is a matter of exponential function, right? 2 to the second power, then 2 to the third, to the fourth, to the fifth, to the fifth. If you keep doing that, it's going to be major change. Just change 2 people's minds, everybody. You change 2 people's minds, they go and change 2 people's minds.
That's true.
Huge, within a matter of years, huge changes.
I mean, it's happened. I mean, sorry, I went on like 5 different, and we all did whatever. And thanks for all the chats, by the way. Hey, Lily and Mark Maresca, we'll see you soon. Thank you so much. Big hugs, and we'll do that in real life.
And just a quick note: these are some of the people who have been in the Liberty Sphere for more than most people, I would say, maybe even watching this have been alive. I mean, we're talking like the 70s. Many, these people have been trudging here, and despite all,
like Joe Jorgensen from that long ago.
Well, yeah, as old as her, I guess you could say, like just the length of being involved. I mean, it's mind blowing to think about all that adversity for 30, 40, 50 years, like not seeing the growth until the past 10 years has exploded.
It's called the internet.
Right. Well, definitely, So
that's what I'm saying about technology. You just got to take advantage of it.
That's just
don't be scared. Don't be irrationally scared. Own the technology and the knowledge of laws and physics of the world. Okay, I don't know. I'm like Gandalf over here, but
and just real quick, Gandalf. Another thing too, another event, right? This again, we're the party at Tom Woods' house in April, so we're going to be doing, the Tom Woods thingamajig too. So we're gonna be hanging out there.
Thingamajig, we should call it that.
The Tom Woods.
Hey, you're going to the Tom Woods thingamajig? No, you don't know.
So if you're going to that event, we will be there. We're also going to be at the LP Con coming up in a week, like just a week and a half now. We're going to be doing performance.
Oh my gosh, we're going to perform our first concert.
Yeah, so it's a lot of stuff going on, man. It's a lot of
stuff. We have
a
big year going on. And, I feel like a lot of people this year, I've seen it. A lot of content is being created. And from status to libertarians, just a lot of people are like, I'm tired of being locked out. I'm going to make content. I'm going to take my life back. I'm actually seeing that. Like, even if someone is technically still like in that paradigm, they just feel like, no, I don't want to be inside. Like just their most basic desire to just go outside, and create and to do something with their life. And just everyone knows, whether you're status libertarian, you don't have to be, to just know this reality that like people die and you don't know what happens when you die. So why not just try to really maximize your time on Earth and do the best that you can and like make. Oh, did my mic cut off?
I think you tapered off so low that the limiter like started to cut you off.
Oh, wow.
but yes, the idea just being like, hey, you know, time's short. Just think about that every day. Time is short. What are you doing for yourself to improve yourself? What are you doing to help spread the message to others? What are you doing to improve things for your relationships with your family? If you have kids, you know, trying to be a peaceful parent, stuff like that. Again, every little incremental change you make every day, every time you make a choice is a huge opportunity, right? Every second. So
opportunity.
Exactly.
What are you from Brooklyn?
And again, and hang out with us, just having these conversations, talk about the principles, talk about what we can do together and what we can produce and create and network family. And get out there. Exactly. It's something that is just so important. So
yeah, I just couldn't have said it better myself.
That's why I said it.
I just want to just what he said. What he said.
But
play it back.
Play it back. But yeah, so I just want to do quickly note here. Thank you so much, everybody who has been supporting us. We're doing this live here. Let me just share this.
Whoa, this is so cool. Yeah. I'm so excited.
Just in this short
I can't wait to shoot this music video. Actually, we're performing the song "I Did Not Consent." That's one of our songs for our first ever live concert as Jack and Fuck.
Right.
I mean, if you count like, I sang choir because I was forced to in school. Okay, I did a concert, whatever.
Right.
This is the first time I wanted to perform a concert. So I'm really excited. And it's going to be like a donation.
Right.
A way of giving back to the folks at part of the Liberty Movement there, LPF. And yeah. So if you're here in Florida or near, hope we'll see you. It's details are online. If you just look up LPF Con 2022, you can see all the details. So yeah. So that will be fun. And you saw it in his face. We have to prepare and gonna do our best, first time ever, and see how it goes. But I'm excited either way, whether I fumble or not. I'm just gonna really try it and have fun with it, and hope to see a lot of you guys there. I know some of you are gonna be there, so that's exciting already.
And again, for a performance thing, it's not like, you know, we have a huge, you know, DJ cast or something like that, like doing special effects
and
backup dancers, fog machines, and like no, we're gonna have a music video, stuff like that, play behind, we sing over it, stuff like that. It's just kind of like a fun thing, you know. So yeah, I just want to keep those expectations low to protect my integrity, you know what I'm saying. But
we could pay our friends with pizza.
Yeah, right.
Hey, you guys.
Please clap. We'll buy you some Domino's.
Want to be backup dancers?
But yeah, so it's super exciting. So thank you so much. Seriously, everybody who's supported and pushed in for us. And really, again, like, I wouldn't have gotten to this point of being able to really write this kind of work here and produce all the stuff that we do without lots of people
look at this.
Talking to us. It is super cool. Talking to us, encouraging us, being there, you know, both emotionally, psychologically, in terms of, offering words of encouragement, financially, the whole gamut. Thank you so much, everybody, for just being there with us and doing this journey, growing with us this whole time, going from, potato cam all the way up to something that, you could kind of see my wrinkles. So it's been
wrinkles.
Really cool.
Oh, well, people have seen my eyebrows evolve. It's fine. We grow. It's fine. So yeah, I love that sentiment. It's true. We do grow together. And a lot of you have been here since day one. Zach Lukowski, look at it. But there's others, that have been there since day one. It's pretty incredible. And just so thankful for it's just so beautiful. It's just more beautiful than I could ever imagine. Just all the people I've met since I started doing the philosopher stuff. So yeah, and thanks, Jack, for being by my side the whole time and my mentor and partner.
I do what I can. What can I say?
Hey, it's Valentine's Day week. We had to be a little cheesy.
Cheesy.
Nah, I'm just kidding. Always be cheesy.
So we're gonna, obviously be heading out here in just a moment. But again, we're excited to see everybody who we can this upcoming event here in just about a week and a half. And just stay tuned with us. We're going to be sharing behind the scenes from the campaign. Again, if you support the campaign, even if you just do 5 smackers, to use the Tomboys rhetoric, it's worth it just to see the behind the scenes stuff, because that's gonna be cool, right? You want to get some cool behind the scenes video and just see how it goes and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. A lot of people really appreciate the Disobey behind the scenes because it was kind of funny too. There's some funny footage there.
That was fun.
It was hilarious. So again, just get on in, check it out, see what we do. I think you're gonna be encouraged, inspired, and we're just doing our little, part among many different people, providing all different types of ways to think outside the state, because that's what it boils down to. Is we want people to think outside the state and improve their ethical thinking with everything they do. So,
all right, thanks. Oh yeah, Toasty was great. Well, thanks so much for this ad hoc hang on a Wednesday. Hope you guys have a great West. Just kidding. Great rest of the week, and we'll see you on